I usually only do 2 YouTube videos in a day, but with today's news and this crazy censorship that we're seeing, I think it's my duty actually to come out and talk about this, try to get more exposure for what's going on. And you know what? If I get in trouble with this on this platform for just stating what's happening, well, then so be it. Everybody needs to speak out about this, and these corporate censors need to stop what they're doing because this is absolute evil. It's tyranny, and it is election interference in like the hardest, most insane way. If you can't interview a governor candidate for Arizona who's of a major party, who's probably going to be the most voted for person in that election, that's very odd. And that is, in essence, an advertisement for the Democratic Party. And I think there's, compensation due or things like that. This should be illegal, shouldn't it? All right, we'll get to what's happening with Kari Lake and Steven Crowder in just a second. My name is John Delarose. I'm a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator, and I'm fighting back against all this stuff by making my own books, making my own comics. We are doing it ourselves because I really think it starts with the culture. The corporations have had a complete run of culture for like 40 plus years, and we're finally starting to fight back. We've got Ripaverse, we've got Comicsgate, and we've got my Overmind, which is available on BackerKit right now, a pre-order. These will be shipping in September. I've got all of my books on here, so if there's something that speaks to you that you're interested in, you want to support some good conservative creators, please check things out down in that link in the description below. I appreciate you guys for doing so. This is very disconcerting news. I saw this Steven Crowder mentioning that YouTube suspended their show because they were interviewing Kari Lake. Now, Kari Lake is the Republican nominee for the governorship of Arizona. She, of course, was mocked and ridiculed, and they tried to destroy her because of her affiliation with President Trump and because of her questioning of the election integrity of the 2020 election. Very interesting stuff. Now, she sneaked it out. She was able to get that nomination despite intense opposition from both Republicans and Democrats. These are people who are rising up and saying, you know what, we don't want these establishment shills anymore. And those are the type of people that watch Steven Crowder, the type of people that watch me. We're watching news that's actually coming out because we're actually reporting on stuff that the mainstream is failing to report intentionally because they don't want you to know who Kari Lake is. They just want you to view these names as radical extremists. They want them deplatformed because here's the thing at the end of the day. A lot of winning elections is about getting name recognition out there. Now, Kari Lake's getting that a little bit, and she's been a newscaster, so she has that a little bit to begin with. But you really can't win unless you have that name recognition all around. It has to be mainstream all the way around, right? So if you can't get on shows, if you can't get on social media and all that, the other opponent has such a huge leg up because they're there. Their name's out there. They're speaking. People can see what they have to say. And that is just insidious for something like YouTube, which takes government-assisted money from Google to do. Twitter, the same thing. These are the public squares these days. And it's awful that the main public squares are not allowing actual election discourse to be discussed. It's very scary. It's frightening. So what happened earlier was, of course, Steven Crowder had Kari Lake on. And as you can see right now, he's putting it up on Rumble under the link tree YouTube Sucks. Very easy to find to watch the show. It's not available. They're actually suspended for the next week over this. A whole week. He can't operate his business. He can't bring news. He can't bring commentary because he had a gubernatorial candidate speak her mind. That's insanity to me right now. And I really do think this is violating election contribution funds because in essence, like I said at the beginning of the show, every time you do this, it's a contribution to the Democratic candidate. YouTube is contributing to that campaign by stifling speech of the opposition. It's absolutely insane that this can happen in 2022, but here we are. We're into some of the worst tyranny ever because people don't want to be able to talk about topics that are of the interest to the American people. Why can't you research what happened in 2020? I'm being very careful with the way I'm wording things, my friends, because you know what'll happen if I'm not. Why can't you research what happened with certain viruses and then certain cures for those viruses? Why can't we discuss it? Why can't we talk about it in the moment? We see that definitions change. Eventually, they do find out there's information that we should have known all along, but they go out of their way to suppress this information on behalf of pharmaceutical companies, on behalf of the federal government, on behalf of their global homo allies who are honestly controlling everything and trying to stifle us at every single turn. And sorry, if you're offended with me using that term, but that's exactly what's going on right now, and I'm going to call out the people who are in charge of it because it needs to be done. And I'm not scared, and they're not going to scare me off. That's it. What do you think about this censorship? I think it's absolutely crazy. I can't wait to watch this over on Rumble. It's going to be fun. Leave a comment down below. Hit that like and subscribe button. And of course, support alternative culture to the crazies out there today. Thank you.